Welcome everybody to this fourth lecture on Introduction to Python. In this lecture we will cover function, modules and libraries. I'm Lorenzo Zambelli. Okay, in particular, as I said, we will cover function, module and libraries. A function is a SQL instruction that performs a specific task. The function has the following structure. So we're going to have on the first part write the description comment. So what does the function do? And then the function statement. So our exact code that we want to execute when we call the functions. And then we return an output. The return output is not always necessary. Sometimes you write a function that does not return anything, but inside it executes something that is helpful for you. It depends on the situations. As parameters, you can have multiple of them, but we'll see better later. Okay, let's have an examples. So in the previous lecture, we have made a thermostat, okay, that tell us if we want to have date, the AC, or turn it off. Let's change it in a function setting. Okay, so let's create some space. Let's write define our functions, my thermostat. Okay, let's add a input temp and desired temperature. Okay, that's it. We don't need anything. Then okay, let's write our command description of the function. It is basically what we wrote before in a common ways. Just copy and paste. Okay, to be faster. Perfect. Okay, let's now write what are our variables, where we're going to have a type. Temp is going to be a float. Then we have again a second input variables is the desired temperature, which is going to be a float as well as, and as output you're going to have a string. So R, so for return type status is a string. Perfect. Let's start. Indentation is really important as it was for the if statement. In general, is for everything. Indentation for Python is fundamentals. If the indentation is wrong, you may encounter errors. Okay, let's just move around because we are not going to change anything. The program is going to be the same. Okay, only the final part basically is going to be a little bit different. Yeah, status. Indeed, that's it. We have finished. Now let's write some code that is helpful when you call the script. We will understand it better. What does it mean later when we study libraries. But basically, in a way to call, okay, these files is the main one, and is needed to run the code directly when you call it. It's not fundamentals, but it's useful to have it. Okay, so if name equal double equals sorry main, yeah, main files. Okay, then we want the input, the temperature is going to be the same. That's it. Then L, then print, sorry, non else, we don't need else. My temperature start, temperature and desired temperature because are our actual variables. Note that it doesn't matter if you use different variable names inside the functions and outside because you are in different scope. So yeah, then let's run it in our terminals. So Python intro is asking us a temperature, let's say 25, desired temperature, let's say 19, AC is working perfect. We can again try to run it to see if it works again. And yeah, let's say 10 degrees, desired 24, we want to have the heat. We can find also to try the off, but we will skip it at this time. Yes, that's our results. On the right side, we have the versions of used in IPython consoles, but the reasoning is the same. Okay, arbitrary arguments. Sometimes you don't know how many arguments you want to pass, or yeah. So you're going to say you use the apostrophe, the star on top, and yeah. In this way, you can receive a tuples or so on, a tuples of variables and so on, like a way to compact basically. Okay, so we write our functions, common description of the functions, a basic for statement. We want just to sum up everything. Then we run it in our Python interface. We have, okay, let's write 8 equal to 1, 2, 3, our tuple, list, call it whatever. Then let's call the functions. We have a type error because it does, you need to specify that that is a tuples, otherwise it will not work. Yeah, you put the star on top, then 6 is the result, which is true. Then you do it again, and yeah, perfect. Nothing particular to say here. Okay, sometimes you want to define default value to a specific parameters that you have in the functions. In this way, you may also don't need to give the value, because if you have defaults, there's no need sometimes to call it in the function itself. But let's see. Let's use again our thermostat. Let's say that the silent temperature is always fixed to 24, which is a night temperature. Yeah, inside the function doesn't change anything. In our Python interface, let's call the function my thermostat. Let's say 30 degrees we have now. As you see, we are not calling, we are not giving the desired temperature because we have a default, and AC, which is the correct answer. And but you want to change the desired temperature? Yes, you can. But just calling the function again, it put the different values. In this case, I decided to put 20. And yeah, we got it as a result. Perfect. Okay. Sometimes you don't know how many keyword arguments that will be passed in your function. A key. So you add a double asterisk in the next to the parameter's name. Let's look at the following examples. Let's call the function define my function, double asterisk, kid. Okay, then it's okay. Print the last name, because we are let's assume the kid is value on our dictionary, and let's call the L name for last name. Again, print the first name, so F name. Then we go to my functions. We set as a name Zambelli, first name Lorenzo. As you see, then we close everything. It is missing a parenthesis next to Lorenzo. I'm sorry, but anyway, then his last name is Zambelli, his first name is Lorenzo. Perfect. Okay, lambda function. Lambda functions are usually useful inside when you have nested functions sometimes, or you want to have a function that is not often used. It's a more comfortable way to do it. But it works in the following way. You have the function name, then you wrote lambda, all the arguments that you want, and expression your function. it must to be a one-line function. It cannot be multi-line. Okay, an example. SQ for square root, for square, sorry. Then lambda x is our arguments. Then the square root 2. Perfect. Then importing using module. So a module is a collection of functions and other materials that can be imported into a script and using with it the script. So if we call as our file with soft.py appended, that's the name of a module. Like before, we have intro.py, the script is also can be used also as a modules. Okay, then inside our code or our script, where it doesn't matter, you use a import the name of the module to import, and then nothing else you need to do. Okay, so for example, before we made my thermostat functions and save it in the intro.py. Now, in our firmware environment that we want, we import intro.py in this following way. Then, in our script, we just use the function. So, print intro, we need to put the name of the modules before the function, otherwise Python will not understand what is that function because you didn't have defined before. My thermostat and then the values that you needed. The result will work. Okay. Sometimes maybe the name of the module is too long, but it's not convenient sometimes to write the entire name of the module. So you write a short version. For example, for NumPy, you use import NumPy as MP. That's the standard way to do it. But you can call it wherever you want. Okay. Although a module can have multiple functions and importing all those the materials may make your code less efficient. So sometimes you'll be most precise to what to import. So basically you use from the module, name the module, import a function or a multiple function. Just use the command. And then you can also write the short versions. So yeah, that's nice. Okay, help function in modules. So as for functions, at the beginning of the modules, it's convenient to write the module descriptions inside the three graph. Okay. Why is convenient to do it? Because when you use the help function with the name of the modules, you enter that description. So if another programmer uses your code, it can easily read what does the code do, what are the functions inside the code, and so on. The same way work for functions. We see it that inside every function we wrote the description of it, and it is needed because sometimes maybe another programmer use your code, your function, you have an error, and then you can go to help using the help function to understand maybe the error itself, or to understand how the function works, what has the input, what has the output, and so on. Okay, let's go to packages. Packages are a way to structure a Python module namespace. So it's basically a collection of modules. Okay, they're called package and libraries. They are synonyms. So yeah, you can choose whatever. Okay. For when you have multiple module inside the package, you always use the dot between the name of the package and then the module that you would like to use. So, for example, the module name a.b is the sub module name b in a package A. That's clear. Okay, the package had the following structure. So we have the parent package at top, then we have the init.py files, then we can have already some scripts, some modules. Then we can have a sub package. A package inside a package is also possible. And again, we're going to have another init.py files and so on. The structure is quite straightforward. Okay, but what is an init files? An init files is a files that Python interpret use to open up the package itself. Okay. Yes, and it's a file that requires Python. Yeah. Init can also be an empty files, but it can also execute in initialization code for the packets. Also, all the variables and so on. You're not going to need to use it, but I just wanted to give you some information. For a simple project, a simple package, sometimes you put inside the init.py files directly all your functions and you write directly over there. But yeah. And with version Python 3.3 there is no need sometimes for the init.py files. So yeah, that's cool. Okay. Here's an example of the init files. Again, we write the description of it, some functions. We define this file to be the name, the main files, and then we run it. That's our results, as we see on the right. So we import the intro package. Indeed, it told us that this is a module. Then we call the function hello, because we define the function hello, and indeed we have hello word. But the particular part about if name double equal main is that in the command line, if you write Python /m intro, then you are running the function that is inside the if statement. Okay. In the init file, as I said before, you can also define all your variables, also define all the modules to open up when you call it. So for example, that is the old commands, and if you write that, and in your script you write from the package, let's call intro, import asterisk, it means that you will import all the packages that are inside the old command. If the old command is not defined, then from package import asterisk will not work. Okay, an example of modules or package are math, which contain the fundamentals mathematical operations. NumPy, we provide a data structure for representing each value of arrays, function, operating linear operators, basically. SciPy with is a more optimization package on NumPy, and you can do linear algebra, integration, interpolation, and so on. Then we have Matplotlib, which is a package that is used for plotting a function and data points and so on. Yeah, as a summing up, um, we have importing modules using the import module. Then if we want to import a function from that module, we need to write module dot the function with the short version name of the module if we have defined it. And then we have help and the help functions, which is a way to enter the description of the function or the modules. Yeah, I would say thank you for watching these videos. I hope to see you to the next one, and yeah, enjoy.